You know, the issue of violence on election day is very key here. And even leading up to the elections, we've always been talking about the need for political parties and even party members and every Nigerian to be on the side of peace, irrespective of what kind of campaign policies you're trying to sell to the electorate. How much have we been able to sell on that to the people when we talk about non-violence?
You know, yes, non-violence cannot be solved just within few months of an election year. We need to get a lot of things right. So it's like you have to backtrack into the past, go into the foundation and find out why violence actually happened. Because violence normally is what we do. We fight for everything. Because over the years, we've been fighting. So now everybody's desperate. We need to fight for this post. I want to get this election. And you now have your boys that you use, that you have deceived with a few change. Like I said to people, I said, I don't know who's going to pay me to die for him or her. Nobody can do that because of what I have been raised to understand. But how many people in the public have that kind of capacity to resist the issues that are facing them? I don't have a big fat account, but that doesn't mean I'm going to fight for you. I have my life to spare. I have my children to take care of. But not everybody have that psychological capacity to withhold themselves from violence because they are needy, there are issues, and they have not been resolved. So an election year can't just wipe it out. But we will minimize it by talking. We will minimize it by the political parties doing their own thing, the church doing their own stuff, the mosque on Friday. In the next Fridays, in the next Sunday, it should be a topic on the pulpit. It should be on the topic. Please, this election is not about fight. Let's not kill ourselves. Whoever wins, wins. Let all things be done decently. This has to be the message, both from the churches, from the mosques, society, at home. Mothers should call their sons. I don't think I want to lose a son because of an election year when there is a future ahead of the child or something. So it's a corporate Nigeria effort.
And daughters.
And daughters. I have a daughter, so and daughters also. I agree with you, you know, and all that. So it's a responsibility, societal responsibility, that we must all cooperate with a nation. It's not with the politicians, with a nation. Because this is our nation. Sorry,
Chimala, I said daughters because I've seen so much of participation by women in politics, and it's growing by the day. And comments.
But thank God we're not usually in the violent level.
No, that's why I'm coming to comments. That's why I'm coming to comments. You know, you can also incite with words that comes out of you. So how can we douse such kind of tension?
You know, things like the media plays a vital role. And again, the media can't just wait for comments coming from outside to publicize it. The media houses also have to create messages coming from China as a house. This is what you endorse, non-violence. So snips of non-violent messages could come out of China's, should come out of all the other media houses, as it were. So everybody, especially the media in this season, because we are at crunch time, and my voice cannot go far as a media house. So you don't wait for just the politician to give you messages or government, but each media house should also take responsibility because this is our nation. If it goes ablaze, we all will be affected. So messages should go out. Non-violence. Why non-violence? Maybe tell them why they shouldn't go out. I mean, I asked a child, one young man, I have a few of them, and I say, why would you die for a politician? How much is he paying you? And you find out that it's just because somebody has not taken time to speak to that child. And that's the responsibility of society, not just government. Government, yes, but the entire society has to understand that Nigeria is ours.
Do you see that message? Okay. Do you see that message out enough? That message of non-violence. You know that there's been this slew, as it were, of people signing up, doing peace pacts up and down. But do you think that the message of non-violence is trickling down to those who really need to hear it enough?
Not good enough. For me, it's not good enough on both sides. But like I said, the politicians cannot be totally depended on to make this happen. It has to be society. Because, I mean, the guy who is going out to battle for the politician is coming from the society. And the politician, no matter how the level of their own understanding, because whether you like it or not, political offices and officers have their own issues. We don't know where they're coming from, and so we can't really help them at this dying hour, but we can help the society not to cooperate with them. And that's why institutions like the churches, the mosques, the schools, from the primary to the secondary, public school and everywhere, should start talking about it. The media house should help civil society. This is the hour. When you talk about civil society, this is the tough, where civil society comes out in its glory and insists on arresting whatever has been done or yet to be done and put it on a perspective so that society will understand that, look, it is our nation. It does not belong to A nor B. It's our country.
Well, speaking about ours, let's look at what more can be done. Let's start with INEC, for instance. It's 14 days actually to the elections now. They'll have one weekend. And this weekend, there will be, I think there's a retest in Ebonyi State. So I don't know if they could reschedule another rerun for the other states where they haven't done this field test. And that's on the one hand. And even if they take the remaining 7 days or more, or 8 or 9 days for this more voter education, ensure people get their PVCs, how much can they do to the extent that people will now say, well, all right, appreciably, we can go on?
The power of knowledge cannot be understated. Understanding does not take a day, it could take 2. But when you do it back to back, you're enforcing the mind to be shaped. For example, I get to the polling booth because we've heard it. It's just like we kept hearing the Ebola message, So I get to the polling booth, and I'm aware that I should be looking to the left and to the right, anybody who's trying to cause violence, and ensure that the officers who are going to maintain law and order are also there. There will be a consciousness that people will not just get up and do it because everybody's aware. But when a few are the ones who have the info, and the others are not, they are careless, today we are going to die on top of this matter. Today, not today. Because I think it's still going to be announced on the polling booth who won. Are they doing that? I think they're doing that also at the end. This happens. That immediate reactions, we need to anticipate it. But when we educate the people a little bit, I know that Mr. Jegede is here and I'm watching. I hope you're not the violent guy here that's going to cause in my heart. And I'm conscious. And everybody's conscious because the information, 1 week is a lot. It's a lot. We can do so much in 1 week. Your program right now, do you know the millions are watching? Already information is going out.
Do you think it's a good idea to have introduced this PVCs and the card readers to enhance the integrity of the elections?
I think it's a good idea, but I feel the preparation period was too short. For a nation as large as ours, it should be a 1-year project. A 1-year project, way before the temperatures went up with everybody's tension level. It should have been a 1-year cycle because we are large. We should not underestimate Nigeria. Nigeria is big. And now we are under pressure because Mr. Jegede is in Kaduna. His PVC probably is in Ogun State, where he has moved from. So he probably doesn't have time, nor does he care to go back to Ogun State, have a free day to pick it up. So that cross issues has happened. But if we had prepared in a 1-year cycle, but notwithstanding that, we should make up our mind to do with what we have as a learning curve. But I hope against hope, it's going to be consistent that if you get up to 18, you should have access to where you can get your permanent voter card. So that consistency before the 2019 elections.
Well, it's sad to know that even if Mr. Jegede were to take the pains and come down to Ogun State and pick up his card, he might still not be able to vote unless he came down to Ogun State again.
That's what I'm saying. You know, those are the kind of laws that we put in place that I don't know why. Because if it's a permanent voter card, why can't I vote in Abuja? Since it's permanent and my fingerprint is just like if I decide to get my visa in Abuja, does it make it less valid if I got it in Lagos? So these are the intricacies that we did not look deeply into. But this is a learning process, and every nation goes through her process of democracy. Democracy is not an event. It just doesn't just happen. There are processes, and I think we should go through this one. We should not truncate the military. I said, no. Democracy goes through a process. India is still going through her own process. Nations are going through their process. We will go through ours, and we will learn on the job. But we're not going to sit back and allow someone to dictate to us what's going to happen.